Frequency got the mind caught up, and frequently keep the blind caught up. We do third eye beams with the lighters up. Third eye beams with the lighters up. Frequency got your mind caught up, and frequently keep the blind caught up. We do third eye beams with the lighters up. Third eye beams.
Yeah, remember being in the kitchen, getting to the chicken, water whipping, cutting slabs on my mama dishes, foreign whipping, dipping in and out these foreign women, just a young the curve with grand ambitions, paper coming by the thousands way to spend it, didn't give a fuck if it was rented, whole still hopped in it, used to New Jersey drop before I started pitching, Yankee fitted, dodging 50 in a pair of Timberlands, without a care, had no fear, just how I'm living, my harsh reality was my excuse to be something different, it's all I knew, even though it feels more to it, not trying to have my body viewed by that mortician, my core switch, the more conscious I became of it, the mind a terrible thing to waste, I rise above it, I lost too many that I love to let my go for nothing, the war going on outside, ain't no running from it.
But at the end of the day, truth is more offensive than lies could ever be. The truth is the most offensive thing that you could say about anybody.
Frequency got your mind caught up, and frequently keep the blind caught up. With them third eye beams with the lighters up. Third eye beams with the lighters up. Frequency got your mind caught up, and frequently keep the blind caught up. With them third eye beams with the lighters up. Third eye beams.
Give me the knowledge, I study the book. Show me a prophet, I'll show you a crook. Open your eyes up, but you're scared to look. It's deeper than streets, who get deeper than we? I'm in a crib, sitting like a king high, overcoming madness with a king mind. And you don't wanna freak with me, you don't wanna beef with me, even though I come peacefully. Give me the wisdom, watch me tell you a story. Show me your place, I'll take you on a journey. I'm able to touch fire, though the pain won't hurt me. Is it just me, or the misery I see?
That's the truth, and I don't think people realize the power of words and the power of frequencies. Your words are like magic spells. You know, you got the power of life and death in the tongue. What you say to somebody could ultimately change their life, of any living thing for that matter.
Hey, how y'all doing this evening? This is AMPspirationTTV, and I am your host, the Plum Queen. Well, it is Wednesday, Woden's Day, the middle of the week, and of course, I so appreciate you giving me all of your time and your energy. Make sure you guys hit that share button, share, because you know we have to make AMPspiration go viral. Well, today we have a very touchy subject, but it must be talked about. This is the year 2019 is going to be the year of accountability. We all got to start taking accountability for our shit. We have to start taking accountability for the decisions that we make. And we have to start taking responsibility and accountability for the things that we do, the things that we say, the energy that we bring to ourselves, the energy that we put out in the universe. Okay? We have to start using our intuition, all of the gifts that the universe, God, whoever you want to give credit to, has given us, and we need to use this so we can survive in this world and thrive as well. Okay? So this topic is actually going to spin, I guess a little spin of what happened yesterday. Got to shout out Nexus, Ani, with Lane Voices and Voices Radio. We had an awesome little special yesterday. She decided to have her show here at the Plump Palace that she just named. Never called my house that, but that is the new name for it. This is the Plump Palace. And it was just awesome vibing. With the divine feminine energy. We need more of that. We need more discussions. We need more women, being able to talk to one another and discuss the things that go on with us and in our community. And we should be able to do that in a positive light, get all of our ideas out there, everybody's stance, so we can come to a common solution. That is what her and I were doing, and we're actually going to be doing more of that. Divine Feminine Discussion is actually a project that her and I are starting, and we're going to continue, and we want to add some more Divine Feminine in that. We need to get, you know what I'm saying, we have to get ourselves together, ladies. We run this world. We give birth to it, and, Jamar had definitely said something, it's up to us, honestly, to change all this stuff around. And to do that, we have to start with accountability. So, I was watching Jamar's video this morning, and it was talking about black assaults. As a black woman, in my 34 years, we are not protected the way that we should. And we're also getting into situations that we shouldn't. We have to understand that everything is based off energy. This is not something that we're taught, but this is something that regardless, a lot of times we fail to realize that just because we're not taught something or aware of something, that it doesn't affect us. And this is a very bad mentality to have, because, truth is truth. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Regardless if you believe, it or not, it is going to be what it is. So we have to start teaching ourselves, especially, with our babies, how to deal with reality, how to deal with things the way that they are, not the way that we feel that they should. So this started off, he was talking about, he showed 2 videos where black women, one was I guess I'm going to assume she was an adult, and there was another video with a group of children. The first video was a woman, I'm sure everyone has seen it. There was a woman in McDonald's, not sure exactly where, but there was a white guy. They were arguing about a straw of some sort. He definitely snatched her up, and they got to scrapping. The girl gave him the business and whatnot, and according to what I was told, she's a professional boxer, so she knows how to definitely defend herself. Now, your first thought about the video is, this is an outrage, black women always being attacked and we never have any protection. Where were all the men in the situation? These are all the things that, were being said about this video, which is, you would assume the first thought. But when you really look deep into things and actually do research on things, and this is something that black people, we don't do. We go based off of what we see and our emotional connection to what we're watching. A lot of the times, the way we react to things is because it triggers something that's in us. And that's why we have a strong stance. Because that's why we tend to argue about things on the internet. You just see you see a little clip of something, and automatically, you derive your own, this big story about what's going on when you really don't have all of the information. So as Jamar broke it down in the video, he's talking about energy, how we speak things into our lives, how we bring things to us. Now this girl, she definitely, has this attitude where she looked like she fights all the time. Like I said, she's a professional boxer. Now again, the dude absolutely grabbed her, but what Jamar pointed out is that she pretty much told him to try her. You know what I'm saying? She pretty much let that, looked at him and was like, yo, I'm with the shit, so we can do this right here, right now, while I'm on the clock. That is the attitude, and that is the energy that girl put out. And it came right back to her, because homie snatched her up. Now, she beat his ass. She definitely did that. Kudos to her. But she asked for that. And I know everybody on here is about to, just like he said on his feed, that everybody's not going to feel like that's crazy, but it is what it is. When you stepping up to somebody and you pretty much saying, yo, I'm about this life, this has nothing to do with right or wrong. Again, like I said, it's about what is. Now, if I was that girl, I guarantee you that situation wouldn't have went down like that. I don't care what that dude said. She did. She definitely did. I wish she should have. But, because she asked for that. I'm glad that she was prepared to do that. Because you have to be careful what you ask for. You have to be careful about the situations that you put yourself in. I know that I can't beat no man. I don't care what we're arguing about. Like I said, if I was her, that situation wouldn't have went down like that. I'd have definitely went and called somebody. See, we have this thing about our, our egos, and we have to prove, that can't nobody mess with us. And if you do, this is what's going to happen. That honestly is not necessary. Again, you are bringing that energy to yourself. You can get mad at me if you want to, but it's a fact. This is why certain people can be in the same situation and have different results. There's a lot of women walking around here, and I understand that there's a reason for it, but they walk around here with this super duper masculine energy. I know so many females like that are ready to fight a dude. But then when you actually get into a fight with a dude, then you want to play victim and say, oh, I'm calling police, or you're not supposed to hit a man, and you're not supposed to hit a woman and all that. Well, you shouldn't be engaging in a fight with a man. That stuff has to stop. Then they also made a point about, the men. Where were the men? Why didn't the men jump in? Well, how many of you know females who start shit all the time? They got a crazy mouth. Always in something, always starting something. Now think about it. They're at McDonald's. All these people are working here, what? Minimum wage they pay at McDonald's? So these dudes in the background were supposed to stand up for her and lose their job. Because that's what would happen. See, we're looking at the whole picture. Had they all ganged up on him, as everyone said that they should, we supposed to, fight for fight for each other, they all would have lost their jobs. Now, who's going to take care of them now that they don't have a job? They probably got families at home, bills to pay, kids to take care of. And they are supposed to stand up for this girl, put their livelihood on the line for somebody who's always getting into shit like that. That's what they were supposed to do? Jamar made another very good point. Let's say you were the girlfriend or the wife of the dude that everyone is saying he's supposed to fight for. How would you take that if your man come home and tell you they lost their job because they were standing up for another female? How many women are actually going to say, that was good, King? That's what's up. You supposed to do that? We got to fight for our people. How many of y'all would have really said that? Or would your first thought would have been is, why are you fighting for this girl? Who's this chick? Are y'all sleeping together? You just lost your job. Do you have another one? The rent is due. The baby need Pampers and milk and all of that. See, that's a realistic scenario. It's easy to say, oh, we got to fight for each other. We got to do that. It's real easy to say that. But what are the consequences after that? We as a community, we don't have a situation set up where we can actually help each other in that situation. You want help, but you can't help them. Would you help that man with his bills and all that after he lost his job from helping you deal with something that you asked for? That's reality. We have to be accountable. This is the year of accountability for our actions. We have to stop putting ourselves in situations. Now, I understand black women. I understand we've gone through a whole lot. This is where this energy comes from. As a matter of fact, Nexus taught me something very well, and I'll be doing this from now on. When I look at things that inspire me for these topics, she has this whole notebook that she had yesterday with all of her notes and everything she wanted to say and all this other jazz. So I am following in her footsteps, and I wrote some notes. So when you're talking about, black women and how we survive and, survival tactics and why we feel the way that we feel and why we have such aggression, in us. And a man named Bobby Hemmett made a very good example, or I guess a perspective on why. You know, we've survived. We live in chaos. We live in hostile situations. So we're always on survival mode. And this is not just for black women. This is for, honestly, black people, period. So we use our egos. We use, all of that energy to survive in this world, whether it be to make sure nobody tries you, or, to get you where you need to go before you even qualify to get there. Whatever it is, to make sure that nobody takes your kindness for weakness. That's what we have this perception now. Kindness is now considered weakness. So we no longer can be kind. We no longer want to, be in a female's perspective or a situation. We can't be soft. We can't be caring and loving, because you're going to take that and you're going to run with it and you're going to use it and you're going to abuse it. So this is why we have a lot of women walking around with attitudes all the time. They, they always say, why are you looking mean and things of that nature, because you have this defense mechanism. You're putting it out there. You're putting out the energy, that you don't want to be fucked with. That's what that is. But what you want to understand is that when you do that over and over again, that becomes now your habit. Now that becomes your personality. So you're always on a defense. It's always hostile. It's always aggression. So it's almost like it takes away your humanity, because that's where the caring and the softening comes from. You being human, for feeling. That's what being human is. But what we try to do is to cut off our feelings, because when you feel, that's a weakness, and people can use that. And we have to change how we feel about that. It does not have to be that way. It's just balancing it. You're not supposed to be all the way soft, just like you're not supposed to be all the way hard. There is a time and a place for all of that. There is a time to be aggressive. We were definitely warriors, back in our time. Y'all saw Wakanda. The whole army was a bunch of beautiful, bald black women. Kicking ass. Taking no names. So it's not to say that, there's not a place for that. But again, it has to be balanced. So if you at all the time are invoking a masculine energy all the time, that is what you're going to get. That's just a fact. I'll go to the next example that he put up there. Another video that I personally felt was worse than the one with the girl in McDonald's. Now this one was a group, about 15 teenage girls, not even teenage. I think they were between the ages of 11 and about 15 or 16 years old. Okay? Group of them at a movie theater, I believe. They're fighting. There's this big crowd. They're having a big old brawl. Then there's this really tall white man with his wife and kids. I'm going to assume according to the way the video looked to me. He tries to go in and he tries to stop the fight. So as a normal person, when you're trying to break stuff up, he's pulling girls this way, pushing girls this way, trying to break up the fight. So as he's doing this, the girls, they're in aggressive mode, they're in fight mode. So they, instead of actually looking around and actually understanding the situation that they were in, they started attacking the white guy. This one particular girl, she pushed him. So then he looks around trying to figure out which one of them pushed him. Then the girl looks him square in his face, charges at him with her fists up, and he cold knocks her out. Now, I'm not gonna front, yo. If that was my daughter, he'd have died. Straight up. I cannot argue with that. He definitely should have had enough restraint. He was definitely a huge white dude. These were definitely little girls. He definitely should have had a different approach. That's how it should have been. But we're dealing with reality. And the fact of the matter is, Why did that 11-year-old girl think it was cool to run up on this big ass, tall ass, old ass white man? Why did you have the battery in your back to think that that was cool? I'm sorry. When I was 11 years old, there is no way, I don't care what was going on. I don't care who was in a fight. There is no way I am running up on a grown ass man trying to fight them. I don't care what they said to me. I don't care what was done. I'm finding my moms, my brothers, uncles. I'm finding an adult, a man. I'm finding a man to go handle that. I am not going to try to fight a grown man at 11 years old. I am not going to do that. And like I said at the beginning of this video, this is a group of 15 girls fighting each other outside of a movie theater. See, this is that love and hip hop reality TV show shit that these little girls are watching and they think that's cool. We keep talking about these girls are victims, but no, they're not. These little girls are out here banging. They're putting themselves in these situations. They are invoking this energy upon themselves. And the problem isn't them, it's the parents. Where are the parents? Y'all keep trying to blame predators for being predators and murderers for being murderers and deviants for being deviants. They're being who they are. Where are y'all watching y'all's kids? There's always going to be something out there, you know what I'm saying, to get you. There's always going to be some type of negativity. Always. You don't control that. But you have to prepare your children for the world out there. Like I said, the world that you brought them into. Why are these little girls, why is it in such packs? Why are they acting this way? There's nothing feminine. That used to be a boys thing. Boys fought. That's what boys do. Fighting all the time in groups and gangs and all of that. All of these videos now are girls fighting and jumping each other. Where are their parents? Who is teaching them this? That's the problem. You're not going to stop deviants and people from being who they are. All you can do is control how you teach your children how to move. My mom wasn't the biggest fighter. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest fighter. I can still count on my one hand how many physical altercations that I've had in my whole life. And my mom was, she was strict in some ways, but she was lenient in others. I went to school by myself all the way in the city. I had to take the train and the bus and walk all the way to Manhattan by myself. Matter of fact, when I first moved to Left Rack, there were a group of girls, I was considered the goody-goody. I didn't know anybody. I didn't start trouble and stuff like that. I was a fat girl, with an afro or whatever. So I was an easy target to be picked on. I was new. So I remember walking to my sister's house once, and there was a group of girls, and they were throwing pennies at me out of the window. I had some words with them, in the park the other day. They saw me walking, and they decided to start throwing pennies at me. They didn't hurt. It wasn't like they lived all the way far up and then the pennies was feeling like rocks or nothing like that. It didn't hurt. But of course, I felt some type of way because why are y'all throwing pennies at me? That was wild disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I damn sure didn't do anything to deserve it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all were bothering me for nothing. But what I did was as long as you didn't physically put your hands on me, you could say what you want, you could do little stupid shit like that. I didn't worry. I kept it moving. I just walked and I ignored them. Saw them again the next day. And they was even talking shit in the window, talking about how they was going to do this, that, and the third. I let it go. I didn't bother. I didn't worry about that. I just went on about my business. And like I said, as long as nobody actually stepped up to me and put their hands on me, I was good. I went by those girls every day. Not nan one of them did anything to me. They gave me dirty looks, but they didn't. And they would be in a group. They'll laugh and say whatever they want to say, but they let me go on about my business. Ain't nobody bothered me because I didn't bring that energy. I didn't have anything to prove to them. Again, as long as you didn't put your hands on me, we're Gucci. You can be an asshole, you can be a bully and do all of that. I'm good. I'm going to walk on about my business. Now that we're adults, I bet you they don't even remember they did that. No issues with them. Said hi, you know what I'm saying? Before I left, we was all good and all cool. Because I didn't bring that energy to me. I wasn't a fighter. I knew I wasn't a fighter. So there was no reason for me to engage into things that would get me into a fight. I didn't put myself in situations where I would have to fight. Not to say that I never did. Like I said, count on my one hand. But because that wasn't the energy that I invoked, that never really crossed my path. And again, I have put myself in situations just like every other child. Being in places you ain't got no business. Being around people that you ain't got no business being around. But my energy saved me from so many situations. So we have to think about that. We need to start teaching our children that. Definitely teach them to, you know what I'm saying, to defend themselves. But you have to switch up. You cannot have them going out here thinking, you know what I'm saying, that it's cool, you know what I mean, to just try everybody or to act like they big and act like they better than, you know what I'm saying. You don't need that. All that ego tripping gets you and shit that, you know, actually it makes you, what's the saying? It gives you checks, you know, right, got you right in checks that you can't that your ass can't cash. Talking things that you don't need to be talking. Acting like, you know what I'm saying, you can do things that you can't. This is what our kids do. You know, during puberty, they're trying to find themselves and, you know, and all of that. So we have to direct them. They out here by themselves, figuring this stuff out. And these are the results. And again, y'all can get mad all y'all want to about these dudes. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, if that was my situation, that was my child, off with his head. Absolutely. But I'm also not, I'm going to make sure I teach my child how to handle situations, like how not to be in those situations. My 11-year-old would not be at the movies by themselves with a whole group of other 11-year-olds. Hell no. When I'm at my job, okay, especially if I was working at McDonald's don't pay enough for you, you know what I'm saying, to have to deal with that. Somebody get the manager. I worked at Walgreens before and Taco Bell. So I've had regular jobs. And I've definitely had irate and ignorant ass customers. Definitely. I even had this one white dude that was super duper racist. Super duper old dude. Lives in the old folks home. That was right across the street, you know, from my job. Super duper racist. And I always been Sister Soldier, Black Power, you know what I'm saying? I've always been that way. So I'm at my job. I had dreads at the time. You know what I mean? It was a long day. I was tired. I was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And he was tripping off of something that happened at the pharmacy. And he decided to take that out on me because he felt like he could. Because, you know, at the job, you know what I'm saying, corporate America, the customers is always right. That's just how that go. It's not about right or wrong. It just is. So I knew that, and I knew that I didn't want to lose my job. I just moved to Georgia. This is my first job. I got it real quick. So I'm trying to make something of myself. I'm 18 years old. You know, I just left New York. I'm in a new place. So I wasn't trying to lose my job. I don't lose jobs. That ain't what Samara do. So I had to figure, you know, I had a choice. I could be Sister Soldier. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, go ham Malcolm X on him. Or I could just do 393. We need a manager at counter 1. I'm sorry, sir, that I couldn't help you, with whatever it is the problem. Can you please step to the side? My manager will be right with you. I must take the next customer. That's what I did. And guess what? His old ass was angry in the corner waiting for the manager. And guess what Tamara did? Tamara continued on with her day, clocked out the last few people, and went home. Now, if I would have tried to be sister soldier and all that, that whole situation could have went left. We have to know how to pick our battles. Not every battle is meant to fight. You have to think about the war. Battles are the little, are the little fights, but you want to win the war. So you have to choose wisely. We don't do that because, like Bobby Hemmett says, we're always on survival mode, and we use our egos and all of that, to facilitate that. So then we don't know how to separate the two. Huge problem. Huge problem in our community, and we have to change that. This is how we protect our women. This is how we protect our children, by preparing them for the world and teaching them how to use their energy. Now, you got, for the religious people out there, you can use it as, God. Whatever it is you want to choose that too. But, we as religious people, good things come from God, bad things come from the devil. Well, the devil exists to y'all, so you know that that's there. So how do you counteract that? You don't get to control that negative energy or the devil or whatever. So how do you train up your children? How do you protect yourself? How do you arm yourself on a day-to-day basis to deal with what's out there? We have to think smarter. Think logically instead of in our emotions, because that's what we do. And this is why this stuff is happening. Both those girls were working off emotion. The girl at McDonald's, I know this man ain't about to say nothing to me and talk to me any kind of way because I'm with the shits and I'll beat his ass. Little girl in the middle of a fight. Oh, ain't nobody about to hit me. Ain't nobody about to do this. I got these hands. She's 11. Man, when I was 11 years old, I'm not going to say I was playing with dolls because I wasn't. But my biggest thing was watching videos. And learning all of the lyrics to all of the songs, that came on, all the video shows that I watched on BET back in the days. That's what I was doing at 11. I wasn't fighting grown-ass men. I wasn't, in a group of girls fighting. I wasn't doing that. So we have to start taking accountability. We keep saying that these children, are victims. Why are they victims? We keep saying that these children are naive and they don't know any better. So then why are we giving these children that are naive and don't know any better all of this freedom and all of this access and no supervision? There are pedophiles and these people exist. But you got your children out here, in the wilderness by themselves. And that's because of the choices as parents that we are making. We're having children knowing that we can't take care of them the way that we want to. We also put value, on the wrong things. We put value and validation on material things instead of what's really important. That's a problem. You have to be accountable for that. I think I made this point yesterday when we were talking about the kids situation with voices. I made the example. I watched this show called The Rap Game with what's his name, Jermaine Dupri. It was a group of 5 kids trying to be rappers. And, most of them, their parents are their managers. So there's this one particular boy, his name is Saya. Very cute, very talented. But his ego is massive. It's ridiculous. It's so much so that there's no sportsmanship. Like he hasn't balanced that out yet. You know why? Because he's 12. But see, the storyline is he is one of, I believe, 8 children. and they live with their mom in a single parent home. Now, I don't know if all his, siblings got the same father or not. We don't know the background story of that. But the point is him and his 7 siblings and his mother live in a double wide situation. So there's not enough rooms in there for all of her kids. There's not enough room for all of those people in there. And now his mother has put this, now it's his job to save his family. This 12-year-old boy, getting this chain and getting this record deal with Jermaine Dupri is going to save them from their situation. Do you know how much pressure that is for a 12-year-old? Why is it his job to get you and get his family out of poverty? My question to his mother, why do you have 8 children? Why? I'm sorry, ladies. It has to be, so you have to be, this is the year of accountability. You keep having these children and you know you can't take care of them. And that compromises what you can do as a parent. You can get mad all day about, oh, the man left me, but you picked him. We are out here having sex with people that we don't know, having babies with people we don't know, and then we are sacrificing our children and their safety so we can survive. That's a problem. You can't watch your kids because you're at work. And of course you have to do that. But why do we keep putting ourselves in a situation where you have to do that? See, if you do what you're supposed to do, you won't have to do what you have to do. And this is reoccurring. This is nothing new. This is not some oblivion where, oh, I didn't know that if I have sex with this person and I can have a kid. We all know that sex gives life. And we keep playing roulette with it like it's nothing. And again, bringing these children into this world and you know you can't take care of them. This is how they become victims. This is why they try to go outside of themselves looking for love and looking for validation, because you don't have the time and energy to instill that in them, because you're trying to make sure they survive, make sure they eat and have a warm place to stay. But it's more to that. That is more to raising children than those things. They need emotional growth. They need mental stability, emotional, physical, all of that. Also with, the way we eat. That's another thing. We have all of these kids, and this is why we have to compromise on how we feed them. Because if you got 5 mouths to feed, going to the vegan spot is not going to be economical for you. It's definitely going to be economical for you to go to Burger King or McDonald's or wherever it is so you can get 5 burgers for $5. We keep putting ourselves in these situations to compromise what's going on with our families. You can't blame the white man for that. These are the choices that we're making. I just went to, I went on a lunch date with a friend of mine, and we was having this same discussion. We were looking for, I wanted to go to this place called The Green Plate. It was a restaurant that I found last summer. It was a downtown area in Macon. Nice spot, really small, and it wasn't vegan, but it definitely, they sold, wraps and salads and, lean, accommodation, things like that, smoothies, more on the healthier side. And of course, it is a little bit more pricey than you would go to, a fast food restaurant. So I went there thinking that we was going to go there, but it was closed. They also shut down the vegan restaurant, my favorite vegan restaurant, Back to Eden's, because nobody is going there. No one is buying, because they would rather go to Checkers, go to because it's, because it's quote unquote economical. But that in itself isn't true. You're going to pay that money regardless. And that's pretty much what he was saying. It's like, man, ain't nobody about to go there and spend, this amount when you can go do this and that. I was like, yeah, but how much money are these same people spending on medication every month? I know people who spend $200-$300 on pills every month because you're saving a couple of dollars on your food. Because you spend $5 on that meal, but you're spending $200 on prescriptions. Let's weigh that out. But we don't have that mentality. That's not in our minds. Nobody thinks that way. So this is why these restaurants can't thrive here. Because nobody here cares about, y'all really don't care about your lives. Y'all really don't understand that this is why we are all unhealthy, why people are dying every day, why diabetes and cancer and all these things are no longer hereditary. Now, it doesn't matter how old you are, what kind of lifestyle you live, you can still catch these things. And then y'all look at me, or they, people, see me and they get annoyed when I say stuff like this. But then I'm supposed to, donate to your, to your medical bills, and I'm supposed to do all of this extra, praying and positive vibes when I'm sitting here telling you, and other people are telling you what you're supposed to do to counteract all of that. You know how many people tell me, oh, I just, I got to have my meat. I seen this man on the bus one day. He was asking me about that. He was being nosy and noticed some of the food that I had in my grocery bags. So he's asking me, does that stuff taste good? I'm like, yes, it does taste good, and it's good for you. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I try to explain to him that I don't eat meat anymore, only fish and things of that nature. He was like, oh, man, I don't know how you do that. I need my chicken and my steak. And I'm looking at him, this dude, his legs look like my grandfather's legs before he died, all swollen. You could tell that it just, he probably has diabetes, high blood pressure, all of that stuff. He can barely walk. He has to walk with a cane. You know what I'm saying? He looks like, well, he told me he's about 50 and some change, but he actually looks like he's 70. You know what I mean? And he smells terribly. You can tell he eats meat. You can smell the pork and everything coming out the man's pores. And he's sitting there, low-key laughing at me. Like, you bugged. You don't eat meat? And then really in his mind, he think I'm bugging. While I'm sitting there looking at him decaying. I know that sounds extra and a little extreme, but that's what it is. And I think we honestly need to put that on the forefront. I say this when I be talking to my, my mom and the people, that I talk to a lot. Sometimes they don't like it, but y'all obviously need to see that, because, just telling you that, eating well is better for you is not working. So maybe if I give it to you blunt and make you understand exactly what it is that you're doing, then maybe you'll start taking it seriously. We're killing ourselves. That is a fact. Every time you eat McDonald's, every time you do that, you are slowly killing yourself. Period. Every time we wear perfumes and lotions and all of that stuff, we are slowly poisoning ourselves. That's a fact. You got to get in tune. We have to be accountable for this stuff. I understand that, the system is against us and all of that and all of these issues we have. I dig it. Trust me, I live in this world too. But we have to change the way that we do things and how we see certain things, and that'll counteract that. See, if we didn't worry about materialistic things all the time, you would realize just how much money you actually have to buy the things that you actually need. But we're, black people, we're frivolous and emotional spenders. We buy little stupid stuff. I do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? We don't think about saving. You know what I'm saying? We don't think about future stuff. We don't think this way, and we have to. We have to start thinking about the decisions that we make and how it affects the future. We don't do that. We just do things and then think about it later. Or wait until we get old. And then we want to, you know what I'm saying, figure it out then after, you know, all of our youth is gone and all that energy, you know what I'm saying, that we should have had, you know, to figure that out. Now you old and you trying to fight, you know what I'm saying, you trying to deal with the changing of, you know, of life and learn the lessons and do the things you're supposed to do in your youth. They don't work that way. This is why we have 50 and 60-year-old people out there still working. Every time I go to Walmart, there's a greeter. Why? We gotta make better choices in our youth. So if you're relatively young, this is the time now to make changes. You're alive, you're breathing. That is a chance to change. That is a chance to turn everything around. Change your mentality. Reprogram or change the things that you teach your children. And you have to lead by example. That is another thing. I know so many people who sit there, you ain't did shit your whole life. You ain't teach your kids nothing, but you expect your children to be productive. You expect them to go out and get a job, but they never see dropped out and ain't never try to go back. You expect them to be responsible when you weren't responsible. That ain't how that rock. Your children do what they see, not what you tell them to do. They mimic your actions. Period. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter how you feel about that. That is a fact. And we have to start dealing with facts. Not the way we want this world to be. Not the way that it quote unquote should be. We have to deal with it the way that it is. If we can do that, a lot of this stuff can be eliminated. A lot of it. We are bringing a lot of this stuff on ourselves. I have another quote. I know folks don't like him too tough, but Steve Harvey, I saw a clip that he had put out yesterday, and it was also very profound. It was motivating. He pretty much said, we have to deal with our actual gifts. He says our gifts will make room for us. See, most of us are going out looking to do something that's going to make us the most money or give us fame. We don't actually tap into what we're actually good at, what our actual gifts are. We don't try to cultivate that. We're just trying to find the right industry at the time that makes the most money or gives you the most splash, so we want to go with that. Not that we're good at it, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, that's our calling. But because everybody is doing it, and the people that are doing it are making money or getting famous, I want to do that too. This is why all our black children, all they want to do is be in the NFL, be in the NBA, be a rapper, be a singer, or be a dancer. This is why our children only want to be entertainers. Because that is the only thing that they see us doing and being successful at it. Has nothing to do with if they're talented enough. This is why you have chicks on Love and Hip Hop trying to be rappers and singers and they can't rap and sing. Because it ain't about talent anymore. Because now all you got to do is have the right song, the right, you know what I'm saying, lyrics or whatever, or the beat. And you can make $1 million and have the right look. They got to market you right. That's it. You don't have to have real talent to be in the music industry nowadays. So this is why all of our children are trying to do it. But we're not tapping in to our actual gifts. Stop doing things that that you can't do. And you have to redefine passion. That's another thing. I always tell y'all that, words are our biggest thing. We thrive off of them, and those words have energy. We always say, follow your passion. Follow your passion. Don't give up on your passion. Well, we need to start redefining what passion is. See, you should be passionate about your gift. You should be passionate about who you are and what you actually have to give. You shouldn't pick something, again, that does not resonate with you and say that you have a passion for it and then use that as an excuse to honestly waste your time trying to, you know what I'm saying, facilitate that when it's not meant for you. This is the difference between not giving up and understanding your lane. Because sometimes if something doesn't give, so you keep trying to do something and it doesn't work, it may not be for you. That doesn't mean that you've given up or you quit. You're reevaluating your situation. Well, maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe this is not my calling. Maybe this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So let me try something else. See, quitting is, I'm done, I can't do nothing, I'm worthless now, there's nothing that I can do. No, you can pick and you can try things. No one's telling you not to try things. It's awesome. Because sometimes you can do something that you didn't know that you can do. You might figure out a gift that you didn't know that you had. So definitely try things, but don't be so overly focused on something that is not resonating with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I call myself the queen. I used to say jacks, but I'm a queen now. So I used to be a jack of some trades, I like to say. You know, I can do a lot of different things. I'm not a quote-unquote master of one thing, but I can do a lot. I can sing a little. I can dance a little. You know what I'm saying? I have entrepreneurial in my blood. You know what I'm saying? I can do this blog thing. I can talk. You know what I'm saying? I can do the 9-to-5 thing. I can draw. You know what I'm saying? I can organize things. I'm a good individual. You know what I'm saying? I can do things by myself individually. I'm also great in a team. So I can do different things. You know what I'm saying? And I try to utilize them, you know, all of those gifts, you know what I'm saying, to my advantage. But I stay in my lane. Like, for instance, I don't know much about, I'm learning about the African, you know, sciences and spirituality. I'm learning that. I'm a student in that. So this is why a lot of times when I talk to you, I'm not throwing in a whole lot of that because I don't know it. That's not my lane right now. Now, once I learn and once I grow, I'm definitely going to start, you know, well, I do that anyway, but, you know, continue to incorporate that, you know what I'm saying, in, you know, what I speak of. But that's not my lane. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying, so I'm not going to try to turn my platform, you know what I'm saying, into Jamar's. See what I'm saying? That's not my lane. I don't know that well, so I can't speak on those stuff. I can't debate with him or, you know, have certain discussions with him or other scholars because I'm not a scholar yet. I do have something to say. You know what I'm saying? I do have something to offer. My perspective, you know what I'm saying, what I do know is a help to some people, so I stick to that. My passion, you know what I'm saying, is to help my people and to inspire. That's my passion. So I am facilitating and using the gifts that I have to make that happen. I'm not doing something else that, you know, somebody else thinks I should be doing. I'm doing what comes natural to me, and I'm making that my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm using that to gear my life or to, you know, be my success and to push me where I need to. This is what we need to start teaching our kids. Your children won't be looking outside for validation if we did that. Back to a quote. Iyanla Vanzant, when she was referring actually to, you know, the R. Kelly situation, and she said, you know, as parents, we'll sacrifice our children for external validation. All the girls that were in that documentary, you know, they were all looking for another person or another human being to give them something. You know, they were looking for R. Kelly to give them fame, to give them life, to, you know, to give them their dream. That's what they were looking for. This is how situations like that can happen. We got to teach our kids that everything that they want and everything that they need is inside of them. You don't need to go out there, you know what I'm saying, seeking that validation from anybody. You're supposed to instill that in them from day one, so that their gifts can shine. And then you won't have to do that. They could just be on YouTube and singing their heart out, and an actual producer or somebody, you know what I'm saying, that's, you know, real about it, can contact them. You can have a Beyonce to come contact you. Isn't that how those little girls, there's the two little girls that's on her record label, that's how they got their record deal. They were on YouTube, spitting their music, you know, putting themselves out there in a positive light. They wasn't going, you know, trying to find somebody to do that. They put that energy, they put their energy out there on their own. And they received great energy back, and now they have a career with them. And I'm sure those little girls probably, you know, idolize Beyonce. So we have to teach that to our kids. Again, they're looking for stuff outside of who they are because as parents, we're not providing that. You have to provide that security. You have to provide, you know what I'm saying, that what's the word that I'm looking for? That confidence. You have to instill that into your children. And you have to exude it. That's how they're going to see it. Period. This is how we save our kids. This is how we stop the R. Kellys of the world. This is how we stop from men attacking our women. That's how you stop that. And we also, fellas, when it really boils down to it, you have to protect us. You know what I'm saying? Like, your child or any female in your family should never ever feel like they can't call you to come handle something like that. Your daughters should have you to call so they won't have to feel like they got to beat up on, you know what I'm saying, some old dude or think that they have to fight. She should have been like, I'm going to call my daddy. That should have been her response. Or her brother, or, you know, some kind of dude. The women in your life should know that you're there to protect them. The men that are in my life, I know for a fact, and there's no way that anybody can do anything to me. Ever. Right now. When I'm by myself. I know that if anybody try me, I got goons in states that are willing to take flights to come here and handle that. I ain't got to fight no man. What I'm also not going to do is put myself in the position to fight a man. Because I also care about my brothers. I don't want my, you know what I'm saying, I don't want my man or, you know, my brother or my father, you know what I'm saying, to be in situations that's not necessary. Because I know where I live. I know where, you know what I'm saying, the society that I live in. They want any excuse, you know what I'm saying, to kill or to lock up, you know what I'm saying, my brothers. So I'm going to make sure that if I have to call them, it's for good reason. This is how we take accountability. This is how we protect one another. We have to start developing these things, and we have to start teaching that to our kids. Start taking accountability for your actions and the things that you do. Please. That is the only way that we're going to save us. That's the only thing that's going to, quote unquote, save us. That's all I'm saying. Okay, parents, don't hate me. I love y'all. Mamas, I love y'all. I'm so serious, and this is why I'm saying this to you. This is why you know what I mean? This is why I'm passionate about, you know, bringing this message, because we got to do something different. We have to. This stuff has to stop. I shouldn't be numb to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't be the norm. And it is. So we got to do better. We have to do better. Make better choices. You know what I'm saying? Think about the people, you know what I'm saying? Think about the people that you with. On every level. Every level. People you deal with sexually. Understand that if you're dealing with this person sexually, that y'all can have babies. Have that in your mind. Okay? Stop just, because he looked good in his gray pants, or oh, he got this money going on, and or oh, she got a fat ass, and oh. Start choosing, like, is this the type of person that I want raising, you know what I'm saying, as a man? Is this the type of woman that I want raising my daughter? And vice versa, ladies. Is this the type of man that I want my son to mimic? This is how you need to start choosing the people that you sleep with. This is how you avoid having babies by, you know what I'm saying, by deadbeats, or, you know what I'm saying, on both ends. This is how you eliminate baby mama drama. Making better choices. You brought that energy to you. Start taking accountability for that. It takes two to tango. I understand your mentality and all of that, you know what I'm saying, governs how you do things, but you still have to take accountability for it. That's the only way that you can change. That's the only way you can make it better. This is the only way that you can save your kids. Parents, y'all don't understand. If y'all taking accountability, how much that would teach your children. A lot of your children are confused because you're telling them that they're supposed to take accountability for their actions and all of that, but you don't. You're telling them to do what you say and not as you do, and it doesn't work that way, and it's ruining your kids. And they're repeating these cycles, and they're turning into adults that are not taking accountability. And once they become an adult, that's what you expect out of them. But you haven't taught them anything. You haven't taught them to be accountable because you don't take accountability. You don't take accountability for the choices you made, having them in the first place. The people that, you know, the fathers that you chose to have, you know what I'm saying, to birth them or help you birth them. The way you treat them because of your mindset, because of the choices that you made. It's not fair. And then they grow up to become adults, and then, you know, we have, again, you have your R. Kellys of the world. And then everybody expect him to be held accountable. But you skip all of that in the middle before you got here. All the steps that could have been taken to avoid this. That's what we need to focus on. Avoiding this stuff. Because there's nothing new under the sun. None of these situations are new. None of them. We have to do something different. That's the only way that we're going to have change. All right? So let's go. Let's go, black people. Year of accountability. All the things that you've done beforehand, you know what I'm saying? You can't take that back. It's done. Be accountable for it. Take responsibility for it. And now do better. Because once you know better, you do better. And that's how you change your life. That's how we stop these things from happening. That is the solution. We have to stop propagating the problem. Keep talking about the problem. We keep, you know, complaining about the problem, but no one is making changes to find the solution or to facilitate the solution. And it starts with us. It's not out there. It's us. You. Not them. You. Take accountability. I love y'all. Greatly appreciate y'all giving me your time. This was a very important subject, so please share, because you know we have to make Amspiration go viral, and I know there's somebody out here that needs to hear this. Okay, so we still have a lot going on. Friday is going to be another special day. My friend and reoccurring guest Rupert Rickards is going to be in the building. We are going to be discussing a lot about health. There is a doctor that he sent me a video not too long ago, and it was very inspiring, and I felt like that we need to talk about it, and I would love to have his point of view, you know what I'm saying, and his wisdom to go along with this, because like I said, I'm still a student, And, you know, I draw a lot of information from a lot of people. So I think this is a very, another important topic. It has to deal, you know, with our diets, and it goes along with our mentality and, you know, literally how food, you know, literally dictates us. You know, we are what we eat, and how that, you know, changes our behavior and, like I said, our mentality and all of that, and how all of that ties in. And these are the things that we don't know as black people in the community. We don't look at things like that. You know, food is comfort. We don't see food as, you know, our nourishment or as a, you know what I'm saying, our gas, you know what I'm saying, to our car. We don't see it that way. Food is something to comfort us, something that's supposed to taste good. You know what I'm saying? That's what we see food as. You know, not as the source of our lives, and, you know, that we need to do you know, use it properly. So my boy Rupert is going to be in the building, and I guess we're on frequency because he just popped up. Hey, Rupert. So he's going to be here on Friday, and we're going to have an awesome discussion. So make sure that you tune in. Okay, so like I told y'all the other day, and actually I've been saying throughout the feed, that, you know, I am getting into traveling. I'm changing my life, and I am doing big things, and I want to take you with me. So if anybody is interested in traveling, if you're interested in having an extra income, if you want to live life, if you just working your 9 to 5 and you really want to live your life and enjoy it while you're here, definitely hit up my inbox. I definitely have an awesome concept, you know what I'm saying, that will definitely change your life. Okay, so hit me up. I love y'all. Please make sure you tune in on Friday for our special episode, and make sure that you all always be inspired. Okay? I love y'all. Peace.